Hello lovelies, I'm Christina, and today I'm going to do a review of the movie Gerald's Game together with a special guest here. I have Leif Nygaard, which he's a vlogger, makes amazing content. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, you should definitely do so. But he's here to give a totally different perspective on the movie than mine, because I have my very strong opinions about Stephen King and his work. Yeah. You are a bit more neutral and not as biased as I am.
Yeah. I'm going to judge the movie for it being a movie.
Yeah.
I know movies.
I know Stephen King. So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
This review is going to be mostly spoiler-free. We're not going to do any big spoilers, but there will be some comparison from the book to the movie. So a few minor details might be mentioned that, if you haven't read the book, will be a bit spoilery-ish.
Yeah. I gotta say, like, right off the bat, I think the movie was fantastic. I mean, just from a technical point of view, everything about the movie is great. It's like every scene is awesome. You can see it's very well thought out. The direction is great. The story is awesome. The editing is fantastic. The lighting is wonderful. Every scene is like progressing the story and is telling something, you know. And you as an audience, you feel like you're very well taken care of, and I can just like relax with what I'm watching, and I can just enjoy the story. You know, I don't need to worry about anything. I feel like I'm in really, really good hands. Yeah. And the acting is phenomenal. I feel like if you want to like study good actors, like this is, it's just a great movie all around.
Yeah, I was very impressed too. Yeah. And it's one of the more accurate Stephen King novel adaptations I've ever seen, because usually they end up being quite shitty, to be honest. Yeah. But this one was, I think they showed just the right amount of graphic, gruesome content to make it kind of cringy at times.
No, but it absolutely was. I mean, towards the end there. Now, it's like working with movies and working with story, right? You get so used to things that you know how movies are made, you know how stories are told, and you don't really get like caught off guard that much, because like you know what's coming. It's like it's you know, things change when you work with movies. But this one was like, towards the end there, things that were happening, it really caught me off guard. It was done so incredibly well and so graphic that it was like, I was so sucked into it. I was like totally like...
I was kind of worried for you a bit.
I was sitting like this. Yeah, like, I never watch movies that do that. But I was like that's where I was watching this movie. I was like, oh my god. And I was like yelling at the screen like, do this. Like, you should have just... And like, I never do that watching movies.
You got really enthusiastic.
So I was totally into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I could tell.
The one negative comment that I would have about it is like the ending. The movie has two endings, and I think it would have been better off if they focused on the first ending and, you know, just concentrated on that and expanded it slightly and like just left it there. But the second ending that they did, it just like, I wasn't interested in it. It sort of like took away a little bit of what we had just seen and experienced. It made that a little bit smaller, I think, by doing this second ending. But that's my 2 cents at least about it. Other than that, fantastic.
It took away a bit of the mysteriousness of it,
the
second ending. It's the same original thoughts I have when it comes to the book as well. There were 2 endings there. He used about 50 to 60 pages to explain this second ending. It wasn't really necessary, but for the perspective of staying true to the book, definitely, they did that. Yeah. So I can see why they put it in the movie as well, but...
Yeah. And there were several times that when we were watching this, that you were like, oh yes, they did it. Yeah. And you were like, yeah, that was exactly like in the book. Yeah. It's like, nice. But they don't often do that. Like, there's a lot of times where they really take a lot of creative freedoms to tell the story in the way that they feel that they need to when they make a film or movie adaptation of the story. Because they have to. It's like, not everything just works in this sort of cinematic world.
You can't adapt everything to screen. It won't work.
Yeah.
But they pretty much stayed true to the story here. There were a few things. The internal voices of Jessie in the book, she has at least 2 internal voices, except for Gerald. Yeah. And that's an old college girlfriend and the Stepford wife version of herself. I think they just left out the Stepford version of her and put Gerald more in there instead, which worked so much better on a movie than I think the other one would have.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that took away anything from the story. I missed the voice of Prince, the dog. Because in the book you get to hear the dog's actual thoughts. But I can also see that would have been hard to do. It would have been weird. So we didn't get the story of the dog. He was kind of just there.
Yeah. I mean, timing-wise, how they timed everything, it was just really, really good. Yeah. Like everything, like every scene that we saw was talking about something, explaining something, communicating like what they needed to do to really get us into this world. Yeah. You know, so that we understood the stakes and who these people are and their characters and where they're coming from and what their motivation is and why are they doing what they're doing, and it was awesome.
They did very well with that, with the confrontation part about her past.
Yeah.
I think that was done very well.
Yeah. You know that she's like handcuffed to the bed and stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're allowed to talk about that. Right. Yeah,
That's
okay.
pretty obvious.
Right. Yeah, so she's handcuffed to this bed, right? And then it's like things that you would expect that you would go through being handcuffed to a bed for a long time. It's like stuff like getting aches and pains and getting bruises and sores and, you know, that, like, they included things like that, you know, about being thirsty, about getting hungry, about, you know, if you have to go to the bathroom. Like, they were including all of these, like, physical things at the same time that they were including all of the sort of mental things that she's going through. So this actress, Carla Gugino, however you pronounce her last name, everything that she was doing, every reach, everything was like every sound that she made.
Spot on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It was like, yes, that's exact sound that you would make in that situation. Yeah.
Yeah, she did a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the actors did. I mean,
Yeah.
it was amazing. And the child actors that they had in here.
Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
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 I could feel that, like, without spoiling anything, all of the emotions around that story, the backstory of her past, you could really feel it.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
uncomfortably real.
Yeah.
And for really hardcore Stephen King fans, there were a lot of Easter eggs. I was like sitting throughout the whole thing, going,
Yeah.
Did you?
That was Cujo, whatever.
Yeah.
But they were so like small and they just slid in there
It
that
was
it's like
very subtle.
you would totally not like. I didn't get anything, but you were like, oh, and I was like, oh, okay, because I would have just like let it go as like some type
But
of.
I'm totally looking for it as well. We got Cujo, Dark Tower. There was one more. Bag of Bones.
Bag of Bones, right?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
really enjoyed
thoroughly impressed, and I had really high expectations, so I was prepared to be let down. And it's probably a movie that I will watch again.
I would watch it again too.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
That's impressive because you
I don't
usually
really
don't
need,
watch
no, I don't need to watch.
again.
Like no, because I feel like I see everything pretty much the first time. I don't really feel like I need to watch it again. But some movies, I'm like, yeah, I could watch it again. Let like a bit of time pass so I can like forget it maybe a little bit, and then I can go back and rewatch it. But yeah, I would totally watch this one again.
If you would watch it again, would you stop the movie at the ending that you wanted it to end?
That's a really good idea. I'd be like, dude, movie's over. Oh, perfect. What a great movie. Ah, that's awesome. I loved it. You know?
I can see why Stephen King did this thing because of the backstory of the timing that he wrote it and the projection of some kind of inner demon monster thing. Sure. I can see that, but yeah, it didn't add much to the story.
No.
But it didn't ruin the movie either. It was
No.
unnecessary.
It didn't ruin it. It did just take away from, I think, the experience that we just had to get this really strong, crazy experience together with this female character, like what she had gone through. Like it felt like it made that smaller.
But overall, super well made.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would give it a big thumbs up.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be like 2 thumbs up.
Two thumbs up.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go far to watch it either, because it's a Netflix original, so would have been a good movie to see at the movies, though.
Yeah.
It's almost a bit sad that it's only a Netflix original.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked much about the story, but I did a full review of the story or the book, so you can go check that out if you want to know more about the characters and more about the general story of it. Like I said, the movie stayed very true to the story. Oh yeah, one thing that I really appreciated was that they didn't do the cheap thing where they try to scare the audience with sound. Because I'm really jumpy. You know I'm jumpy.
These typical jump scares. This is one of the reasons that I don't like scary movies. Scary movies is because they just work with super slow. Right, they come around a corner and then they just go
it's coming.
with music and sound and all right. And that of course that's gonna make you like jumper.
There were a couple of times where I thought they were gonna do it. I was
cheap.
Yeah,
it's so
but they
cheap.
didn't.
It's cheap movie tricks. It works on a lot of people, but it's just like, oh my god, like come on, like be better than that.
Yeah. But they didn't do it, not once.
Some of the scares that they did were like, they were like waiting for you to discover the scare, and then you saw what they were wanting you to see, and like it took them, and you were just like,
psychological.
oh my god.
It was
and
creepy.
So I know, there was several times where I was just like, I wasn't like scared, I was just like, oh my god, like, oh, this is so good.
Instead of doing the jump scare, you got this really creepy thing going on.
Yeah. I thought it was great.
Yeah, me too.
I would definitely recommend people to go and see it.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Now we know that both Stephen King lovers and more neutral, random, not biased.
The average Joe in the street.
I was gonna say normal people, but that doesn't really fit. You just see that it's good, but you can't really. I couldn't finger point exactly what it is, but when you point it out, then I see it. You're giving me all the technical things, I'm giving you all the Easter eggs.
Yes.
It's a good trade.
Yeah, for sure.
Win-win situation right
It was
there.
a good watch.
Yeah, it was a good watch.
Yeah. Because we just watched it, so that's just like our first thoughts, just like a bit of a ramble about what we thought and felt about this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the movie versus the book.
Yeah. I could do a full spoiler thing as well. If that's something that you want to see, let me know. Because I would definitely do that. I can do a full review with both the book and the movie, full of spoilers and comparisons, but only if that's something you really want to see. Thank you for joining me and watching a scary movie with me. Well, it wasn't that scary of a movie.
No, it was a little bit. It was like creepy and a little bit scary.
It was creepy, but not scary.
Yeah. But thank you for having me.
Yeah.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
You won't have nightmares?
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
I might be a little bit scared.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you have to go check out Leif's channel as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll see you in my next video soon.
Alright.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Just think about how
There's a fly in here. Where'd you come from?
He came from Gerald.
Oh my god, there's a scene, okay, spoiler, there's a scene where there's like the guy's talking and the fly like lands on his mouth and crawls like down in, and he's like, he gives it a little lick, and then he's like, and then the fly keeps flying. Oh my god, it was really good.
If that fly lands on our lips right now, that's gonna be super creepy.
Yeah.